Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, looking at your connection to the person that you are dealing with and needing to learn the most from right now. We're looking at all three sides of it. We've got your energy toward it, their energy toward it, and the energy in between it. The concept being that there are three sides to every story. So looking at your version of the truth, their version of the truth, and this higher level unbiased truth in the middle, really looking at what is the purpose of this connection and what is the best way for you to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. As always, I've gone ahead and pulled the overall energy for the reading and clarified those messages, which we'll jump into in just a second. But I also have a different tarot deck shuffled for each side of this connection, as well as the advice deck that I'll be using in the extended. Any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading with me is in the description box below. Last thing, please remember these are general readings. They are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do remember to take what resonates to help your personal situation and leave what does not. On that note, these energies can absolutely be swapped. So if you end up resonating more with the energy to my right than to my left, just know that's totally fine and totally normal. Again, the point is to take what helps and leave what doesn't. And I am a little bit more dressed up today because I have to go to dinner right after this. So if you're new to my channel, I'm usually in t-shirts. All right. Sagittarius, on your side of this connection, you have knowledge with the death card. You actually have the death card twice in this reading. This is definitely a connection that has come to some sort of end, or there's a cycle within this connection that is coming to an end. There is a lot for you to learn from this connection. I feel like this connection might be one of the greatest teachers that you've had in this lifetime. I know that is a really extreme thing to say, but just based on how this energy is coming through, it just feels like this connection is teaching you a lot, like about yourself, about love, about life, about spirituality, about kind of everything. And I feel like through that, whatever it is that you're learning through that is helping you get to kind of that next level. Because ultimately, we want to work through these karmic cycles that we do have so that we can eventually attract the things into our life that align with the abundance and love that we're looking for. And this person, they have release with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Someone cut someone off in this connection because this person sees things as having fallen apart. I feel like you do too. I don't know. I just really feel like this is about a past connection. And even if you're like trying to move on in a new connection, this connection is still affecting you in some way. So I see, with this Three of Pentacles in reverse and this release energy, that it feels like this person was never really able to be a teammate or isn't able to be a teammate for you. I don't feel like these two energies are an energetic match anymore. They could very well have been at one point, but I don't feel like at this moment that they are an energetic match, which is probably why things came to some sort of end here, because then you have the death again with the Judgment in reverse. And so with this energy, the Judgment in reverse is an energy to me of needing to see the truth behind the circumstances, needing to see past what happened into why it happened and what you're needing to learn so that you can fully close the cycle. Because I do feel like whether this connection ended or it was a cycle within the connection, there's a lot to learn from this, and whatever it is that you're needing to learn is like really important for your life path in some way, shape, or form. So let's see, Sagittarius. Never done a reading in dress before. All right, this is for Sagittarius' side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. This is for Sagittarius' side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. This is for Sagittarius' side of this connection, please. This is for Sagittarius' side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. Sagittarius' side of this connection. Whoa. Six of Wands, 10 of Swords, 3 of Swords in reverse, Page of Swords in reverse. I feel like what you expected to happen in this connection versus like what actually happened, it's like two completely different sides of the spectrum. Like, I feel like you expected success in this connection. You expected things like the Six of Wands kind of being like success, celebration. Like, you expected things to work out. And I feel like you had a lot of hope for that. But then I feel like you were met with this Ten of Swords. Now, this Ten of Swords energy isn't always a negative energy. Yes, it can be a painful energy, but it doesn't mean that something bad is happening. It does. Well, okay, let me rephrase. It can very much seem and feel like something bad is happening, but it can ultimately also be, the 10 being the end of a cycle, being closing out something painful as well. And so with the Three of Swords in reverse, I feel like you're working through the healing from this, because I do feel like there's a little bit of being kind of blindsided in this connection, like not expecting things to play out the way that they did. Because I feel like from the beginning, it's like things seemed very hopeful. You seemed maybe even pretty certain of things here, but then yeah, it's like this Ten of Swords kind of just, I don't know, it's like it came out of the blue here. For you. And I feel like this Ten of Swords is where the lesson lies. So I don't know what the lesson is yet. This is for Sagittarius' side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. Sagittarius' side of this connection, please. The Nine of Cups and the Hangman in reverse. And there's the Three of Pentacles. So you have this, you had this idea, this Nine of Cups, of like what this wish fulfillment looked like in this connection, which I feel like has either kept you or did keep you hanging on to it for a really long time. Because with the Three of Pentacles upright on your side and then being in reverse on their side, I feel like you were willing to be a teammate. You were willing to put in the work. You were willing to do what you wanted to do, or what you felt you needed to do in order to make this connection work. Now, with them having the Three of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like they didn't reciprocate that energy. It's like they weren't as willing to work on things. They weren't willing to be a teammate. And in any connection, I truly believe that any connection has the ability to make it work as long as both people are willing to put in the work in order to make that happen. Real, true, healthy, reciprocal connections come from a place of both people putting in their part. Now, things aren't always 50-50, right? There's going to be some days where you have 30, they have 70, or you have 80, they have 20, it flips off, but it's reciprocated. You shouldn't feel like you are pulling the weight of the connection all of the time, being the one who's the most vulnerable, being the one that's constantly trying to get the other person to open up. And if you're in connections like that, then there's typically something more going on beneath the surface. And so again, it's like you had this, like, these really, I don't even want to call them high expectations, because I feel like you just expected, success in this connection. And it's not that you aren't still deserving and capable of the success that you want in love. It's, I also feel like this connection was a really big, it's like what you're learning through this can help you when it comes to being able to attract and sustain the connections that serve you a little bit more, that make you feel reciprocated and loved and respected, just as much as you're willing to give it out. This is Sagittarius' side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. Yeah, because this is rug ripped out from underneath you kind of energy. And then you have Four of Pentacles in reverse, Knight of Cups in reverse, Nine of Pentacles in reverse, Six of Cups and Ten of Pentacles. So it feels like I still get that blindsided kind of aspect. Like, even if maybe you saw it coming in some way, which I know is like goes against the whole definition of blindsided, but like, even if there were like signs, or you felt like you and this person weren't connecting as much as you once did, I don't know, it just feels like the way that things ended, it really just it blindsided you. And maybe it was how painful it really ended up being, or maybe it was just like that final, like, you look thinking back on that ten of Swords, like that final sword. It's like maybe you had been hurt throughout the connection, but then there was just this one final, like, painful thing that happened here. And I feel like you've been having a really hard time recovering since that was the case. Sagittarius' side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. So Sagittarius' side of this connection to the person they are dealing with. Sagittarius' side of this connection, please. Five of Swords in reverse. King of Swords. You could have been dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. But I also feel like that there's something else to that energy. I want to clarify this King of Swords. You definitely don't have to be dealing with an air sign. I just like to call them out as I see them. Clarifying this King of Swords. We've now seen 3 death cards. Death and the 5 of Wands. This is alluding to this person. But what I'm kind of gathering, it's interesting because we're not looking at their energy yet, but it's their internal conflict. It's their 5 of Wands, their internal conflict here that led to this ending. And I don't know what that means yet. But it's the reason I think it's coming up in your energy is I feel like you kind of took on their internal conflict. Like you took on their emotional burdens in some way, shape, or form in this connection. And it's almost like you made their internal conflict your own. Because I feel like this person, now there could be a mirror too. And what this could be saying is that this person was a manifestation of your own internal conflict as well, which I feel like would probably be the case if it was coming from the other side, but take it as it resonates. But it's like their internal conflict is showing up in your energy, their inability to commit, their inability to be vulnerable, their inability to, like love almost. It's like you took on the burden of that in this connection. And that's why it's showing up in your energy, even though it's them. Interesting. Because this 5 of Swords in reverse, to me it speaks of releasing yourself. Whoa. Sorry guys. We have 4 dogs now, so give me just a second. Hey guys. Ellie, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Thank you. Okay, sorry about that. We rescued 2 dogs last weekend off of the side of the road, and it's been a bit of chaos in our house. So you might notice that this reading is coming to you guys late. Been playing a lot of catch up. So sorry about that. Okay, this 5 of Swords in reverse is also kind of talking about, is like this release of like a victim mentality or like survival mode mentality. So what I'm kind of getting at is it kind of feels like the conflict that existed in this connection puts you in like this fight or flight kind of energy. And it's like ever since you've been, coming out of this connection and healing and doing what you can, it feels like you're trying to get out of that fight or flight energy. Like it like you were always feeling like you needed to like protect yourself. You never really knew where this person stood or like how they were going to react, and it just feels like it goes a little bit deeper than just the surface, which is why I think you have this Judgment in reverse here for a reason. Hope that wasn't too loud for anyone. It scared me. This is for Sagittarius, this side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. This is for Sagittarius, this side of the connection. Which maybe it was funny that I went through. I got put in a fight or flight mode, and I was getting a message about fight or flight mode. All right, Sagittarius' side of this connection. It could be dealing with another fire sign too. But I also feel Sagittarius like this King of Wands. So King of Wands with the Sun in reverse and a star in reverse. Ooh, okay. Lovers in reverse. So this is kind of an intense message. So bear with me. When sometimes we don't realize how our own ego will keep us stuck in cycles that don't serve us, with people and situations that don't see our worth, because it's more interested in the predictability of the circumstance than it is with the growth that comes with choosing yourself and putting yourself first. And I feel like, this connection, it didn't align with your worth, with the Lovers in reverse. And no, it is not always a part of our journey to always make sure that our needs are the only needs that are being met. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when you are in a situation where you are consistently putting somebody else's needs ahead of your own, and yours are being not even just not being met, but not being respected, not being heard, not being listened to, over time, your energy cup is going to drain. And we can only show up in this world, love other people, respect other people, give to this world as much as we do all of those things for ourselves first. If we do not make sure that our cup is filled first, and we are investing in situations that invest back in us, then we cannot show up into this world as our most authentic, loving self, because we will be in survival mode. We will be trying to survive instead of feeling like we are thriving. And when you're in a relationship, or of any variety, be it romantic or otherwise, that takes away from you for so long, that survival mode aspect of feeling like you have to sacrifice your needs, and you have to always put yourself last, and you feel this obligation to make things work. When we are in that situation, what we're actually doing is letting our ego keep us stuck in these cycles, because again, this has to do with a cycle of some sort, that end up actually hurting us more than helping us, and actually resists the love that we are able to both give and receive. And so I feel like there's a lot to this reading that doesn't just have to do about this connection, but has to do with personal cycles that you are also dealing with outside of this connection too. That's why I feel like this connection is like one of the biggest teachers that you've had. Because the star in reverse is the need to heal the Lovers in reverse. The need to heal the Lovers in reverse. This is, not seeing what it is that you're deserving of, accepting less than what you're deserving of, and needing to get to the root of healing that. And instead, sometimes, of trying to find our own worth, we'll stay in situations that make us feel unlovable and don't make us feel as worthy, because we're so used to that feeling of being unlovable and unworthy that it's predictable. Our ego, exactly how that's going to feel, exactly what that's going to look like, and that can keep you, it can just keep you trapped in believing that that's all that you deserve, or that's all that's possible for you. This is for Sagittarius' side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. This is Sagittarius' side of the connection to the person they are dealing with. This person and your connection to them, the Nine of Swords with the Hermit, it brings up a lot of insecurity for you. You might be like, no, it's this person that's insecure. Remember, what we see in others is a projection of ourselves, right? And so there's this need to take a look here with the Hermit at the Nine of Swords that is brought up by this connection, because this connection, it brings you more anxiety and stress than it does peace. Now, no one can be the source of our peace, right? We have to be the source of our own peace. But when we're dealing with our connections to other people, they can definitely add to our peace instead of take away from it. And I feel like this connection takes away from your peace. It adds stress to your life, and it brings up fears, doubts, and insecurities. And that the reason I feel like this connection happened was so you can work through these feelings of being unlovable and not good enough, and feeling like you need to save or fix someone in order to feel love yourself, whatever the case might be. And I feel like there's this energy of needing to bring these Nine of Swords like to your awareness, and then shine a light on them, almost like with the Hermit. Like shine a light, go within, and work through them in some way, shape, or form, because I feel like that'll help you when it comes to moving forward. All right, let's see, Sagittarius, what this person is dealing with. This is this person's energy towards Sagittarius, clarifying release with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Release with the Three of Pentacles in reverse, please. One more. This is release with the Three of Pentacles in reverse. This person's energy towards Sagittarius. Ooh, okay. The Hierophant in reverse with the Ace of Swords in reverse. Huh, okay. So this person doesn't really do all that great of a job at taking accountability for their own actions. I feel like they are probably in a state of pretty constant projection. And I feel like that it's like, again, they have this inner conflict going on with themselves, right? I mean, people who project and create conflict with other people are typically fighting with themselves within, and use other people to work through that, or not work through it, but you know essentially experience it, like use the like put the blame on other people. So I guess it's like it is project, but it goes a little deeper than that. Because this person has a lot that they need to learn too from this connection, but I don't really feel like they're doing that. I don't feel like they're doing a whole lot of learning, and I don't feel like they're doing a whole lot of being honest with themselves about the way that they acted in this connection. And I feel like that's where there's this disconnect here is, self-awareness is key when it comes to maintaining and sustaining healthy reciprocal relationships. And I don't just mean on one side, especially because when you're dealing with, there's a death card again, when you're dealing with one person who is able to be self-aware and take responsibility for their own actions, and someone who isn't, then it still isn't going to be a healthy connection, because then you're going to have one person who's willing to find their fault and everything, and someone else who's willing to place blame all of the time. This person's energy towards Sagittarius. This person's energy towards Sagittarius, please. Yeah, because they're the ones, they also don't feel lovable here. So see, you guys are kind of this manifestation of this inner conflict that you each have. Except for I feel like the way that it manifests is this person probably sabotages people that are willing to show up and care for them and love them, like push it away. And then I feel like Sagittarius, or at least the energy on this side, has a tendency to chase it. It's the chaser runner saga kind of, right? Which sometimes we don't even realize how we're chasing. But I feel like it's like they have these feelings of being unlovable, but then it's almost like, because they have these feelings of being unlovable, and then at the same time they lack the self-awareness to understand that about themselves. I feel like they kind of just like they live their life in a world of projection. and possibly even like, I don't know, it feels like this person might have a tendency to be pretty selfish. For sure. But then you have this Nine of Swords again. I feel like you guys are definitely like mirroring each other in this connection too. This person's energy towards Sagittarius. This person's energy towards Sagittarius. Ace of Swords in reverse with the Seven of Cups. Upright. That's upright. Yeah. And then you have the Two of Cups. So they have love here for you, for this connection. That's definitely coming through with the Two of Cups here. But it's like at the same time with the Seven of Cups, they don't know what they want. They don't know how to commit, and they don't know how to like, it's like they have love for you, but they have no idea how to do anything with that. Like their actions don't align with the way that they feel. And that's because I do feel like this person has a tendency to self-sabotage a lot. And maybe you know that, and maybe that's why you were so willing to take on the burden of their inner conflict, or are so willing to take on the burden of their inner conflict, is because you're able to understand and have empathy for them in a certain way. But then at the same time, there's this need to understand that other people's inner battles are not ours to bear. And we definitely don't want to put ourselves in the crossfire of someone who's at war with themselves, because that's only going to get us hurt. There's no way we can save them or fix them or help them unless they are willing to help themselves. We can only help other people to the extent they're willing to help themselves. And it feels like this person isn't really in a place of accountability and willingness to help themselves. So I don't know. I'm not saying these two energies can't work, because I would never say that, because I don't know your situation. And again, if both people are willing to put in the work and take accountability and, do the, the inner trauma work that needs to be done, then of course it can work. But it just kind of comes down to, is this person willing, right? Are they willing to take a look in the mirror and look at their role that they play? Are they willing to become self-aware even though they're not? This person's energy towards Sagittarius. This person's energy towards Sagittarius, please. These are both upside down. No, they're not. The High Priestess. It's High Priestess in reverse. Magician in reverse. Is that right side up? No, it's upside down. Seven of Wands in reverse. This person's really... The best way I can say this is like out of touch with reality. Out of touch with themselves, but definitely almost like out of touch with reality. Like a little bit like delusional. I don't know. It's kind of an aggressive word, but like entitled. Expect people to treat them a certain way without feeling like they have to give that in return. I feel like they cross boundaries a lot because, and it goes back to that entitlement. And with the Magician in reverse, I feel like they want love. They want relationships that, make them feel loved and make them feel good. Everyone does. Everyone is looking to be loved in this life, whether you admit it or not, right? But with the Magician in reverse, it feels like they don't have the tools to make it a reality. Like they haven't done any of the work to be able to manifest what it is that they want in relationships. I feel like this person's pretty deep in survival mode. And that's why I feel like when, not saying that you aren't, because we've all at some point in our life dealt with survival mode and do still deal with survival mode at certain points. But That's why I feel like with the Five of Swords here, that it's like you're working your way out of it as you heal, is I feel like this person's inner battle put you into that fight or flight. It's almost like they projected onto you this internal battle, which then you projected onto them your own. Like both people feeling unlovable and handling that in different ways and just triggering the heck out of each other. This person's connection to Sagittarius, please. This person's connection to Sagittarius, please. This person's energy and connection to Sagittarius. Yeah, they're running. They're running the heck away from this. But then you have this devil. It's because of this devil. And this devil could be addiction. It could be mental health. It could be just fear in general. But this devil, I actually want clarity on this devil. Yeah, they're running the heck away from this. Clarifying the devil. Huh. There you are. You're not the devil. Don't worry. And then the King of Cups in reverse. This devil is the reason for their treatment of you. And then you have the Empress and Emperor right here. So this is a pretty intense pairing. It's like, okay, so they have this devil, which I feel like is like alluding to that Five of Wands, alluding to that inner battle that they're having. And it could be like the manifestation of it. Again, like if you have an inner battle, you're going to usually, if you're not doing the healing, you're going to need to cover it up with something. And again, that can be addiction, or it'll come out in the form of mental health or whatever the case is. And so I feel like this devil is the reason for their treatment of you, with the King of Cups in reverse. Maybe even a little bit of like emotional, like veering on the side of emotional abuse in some way. They don't have to be emotionally abusive, but maybe gaslighting, lying, leading you on, just, in general, not being um, very kind. And I feel like it's it's like the devil, and I don't want to blame it on something else, because we always need to take responsibility for ourselves, right? But there's more going on to why this person handled this connection the way that they did. And this devil here is like, I don't know, like, I don't want to call it the culprit, but the source of it. And when you can understand that, it's easier to have, forgiveness for someone, to be forgiving of someone, because you're able to see and understand why they did the things they did, right? And forgiveness, that's what's going to set you free. That's what's going to help you move forward and find what it is that you need to find in this world. Because I do feel, Sagittarius, like there's some anger and resentment coming from your side, for a good reason. But if we let it, that can really eat you up. And so I feel like this message is really talking about, they don't feel lovable. They're not dealing with that. They're not dealing with their inner battle. So that comes out in the form of this devil. And this devil is the reason why they run. And that's, kind of where their treatment comes from, why they push you away, why they treat you the way that they do. And so what I want to come from this is that it has nothing to do with you. It's not that you're not good enough. It's not that you're not lovable. It's not that you're not deserving. It's that this person has got their own stuff going on. And unfortunately, you got stuck in the crossfire of that internal battle that they are dealing with. So, kind of a deep reading, but they usually are on my channel. All right, this person's energy towards Sagittarius. Let's see. Because it's like, yeah, they don't know what they want. They have love for you, but like they don't have any idea what to do with that. They don't have the emotional intelligence or awareness to handle how they feel. And so what they do is they sabotage, they run, and they avoid. And then of course that affects you because you're a human being, right? But it's just that there's more reason behind their behavior than having anything to do with you. Because that's what's so interesting. It's like they're holding on to these old habits. They're holding on to these old habits of this, right? Self-sabotaging, not being very kind, and you're holding on to them. So there's a mirror there too. Both people holding on to it out of this feeling of being unlovable. Or held on to it for as long as you did. This could be, again, because this could be something from your past. So yeah, this is a pretty mirrored connection for sure. And I feel like the lessons run pretty deep. And that's probably why it has been so painful and difficult for you to navigate. But there is certainly reason behind it. All right, Sagittarius, I'm going to go ahead and hop on over to the extended. You have Death with the Judgment in reverse. I'm going to look at, again, we're looking at the purpose of this connection and the best way to move forward in order to align further with your higher self. I'm pulling 9 different messages here, and then I have an advice card to pull for you at the very end. Thank you so much, Sagittarius, as always, for your support of my channel. I do hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And as always, Sagittarius, I wish you nothing but love and healing on your journey moving forward. Right. Bye, Sagittarius.